lot of reasons why we're here to celebrate these young men and women, so I just want to acknowledge a few. Very first off, obviously, friends and family. If it wasn't for you guys, the support that you guys provide at home, they might not be here today, so I do want to extend a thank you for that. I also want to acknowledge the sidewalks of Carlisle for keeping all these kids out of the streets. I also want to acknowledge the House of Gryffindor. If it wasn't for Gryffindor, we'd all be a bunch of smelly Hufflepuffs. So that's Harry Potter, in case you didn't know. And finally, the Shawshank Redemption. It actually has nothing to do with why they're here today. It's just a good movie. But in all seriousness, I feel very lucky to come back to this school. It made a tremendous impact on me when I was a student teacher 2 years ago. And I knew from day one, after meeting these kids, that they're just rock stars. They really are. I had them write 3 things on a note card on the first day, just anything about themselves. And I got some pretty interesting responses. I won't go into too many specifics, but a lot of them, they were serious. They talked about their career, where they want to go to school. Then there were some people who just put, number 1, wouldn't you like to know? Which I always appreciated that. But over the year they've made just such a huge impact on me, and that's why I'm so honored that they selected me to give this speech. So the best advice I can give them is just through a simple story. My father is a farmer up around the Marshalltown area, and ever since I was a young man, I always knew that he just knew everyone in the area. Didn't matter who it was, didn't matter what the season was. Whenever we bumped into him, I knew he would know them, and they would just start blabbing about nonsense. And if it was a farmer, I knew the conversation would be about one thing. It was the same thing every time. It was either it might rain or it might not rain. And that went on for about an hour or so. But there was always one guy who, whenever we met with him, I just always look forward to it, not just because he's a great guy. His name's Bobby Abrams. And Bobby Abrams, he's a carpenter, a little bit younger than my dad. And he's one of the best in the trade, he really is. Obviously, as a teacher, and I'm sure a lot of you feel the same way, you want to be the top person in your field. And I can definitely confidently say that I want to be on my way, but I'm not to the point that he is in carpentry. He is just amazing. And the reason I'm bringing him up is because he was born with a birth defect, and he was born without hands. Now, if I were to start it out by saying that this man grew up, became a carpenter without hands, you would probably think I'm crazy. And I wish I could describe to you how he's able to drill a hole, set a board, hammer in a nail, but I can't. And the reason he made such a huge impact on me is because simply he made me believe in things that I didn't know that, I had within me. And when I look at this tremendous group of young men and women, I'm extremely confident in sending them out into the world. Knowing their character, their integrity, knowing their witty humor, their dry jokes, and even their tremendous, unique personalities, I know for a fact that they're going to be successful. So what I ask of them is, if a man who's born without hands can grow up to be a carpenter, what is it that you guys can do? And I have to say, I am unbelievably excited to find out. Thank you very much.